Hi, it's Tony Tricilius from Cheap Scrapbook Stuff, and I'm coming to you with this week's Technique Tuesday. And so for this week and the next Technique Tuesday, we're going to focus on Nuvo Drops. And since there are 6 different kinds of Nuvo Drops, I split them into 2 groups and decided that we would focus on 3 for each session. Just to make it easy and not as cumbersome. So today we're going to talk about jewel drops, crystal drops, and dream drops. And I thought I would start out with just a little bit about what are Nuvo drops. And basically, they're liquid enamel dots. So they're self-leveling enamel dots, liquid. They come in 1-ounce bottles. This is the jewel drop bottle, and they have these fun jewels on the top of the bottles. Most of them do anyways. And the consensus online is that there's about 675 or so dots in a bottle. They produce a domed effect if you make a dot with them, and they do dry hard. And one of the things that you can do with them is if you put them on like a non-stick sheet or a glass surface and you allow them to dry, you can keep them overnight and remove them and put them on your project the next day. So you can make yourself enamel dots today and use them tomorrow. So that's kind of cool. You can write with them, you can use them on stencils, lots of different things you can do. And I have 6 different examples here, 2 scrapbook layouts, 4 cards of where I've used the different drops different ways. So what's the difference between the 3? I don't know. What's the difference? Let's see. The jewel drops, they're solid opaque drops. Okay, so I got a sheet of paper here. Jewel drops. They're solid opaque. Let's make a line. Okay. Crystal drops. Which ones? Those are dream drops. Crystal drops. Crystal drops are more translucent. We'll let these dry. By the end of the video, they'll be a little more dry. We can look at them. They won't be totally dry, but and dream drops. Dream drops are similar to the crystal drops, so they're translucent, but they're also iridescent. So here's the dream drops. I should have started at the top. Okay, so we'll let those dry and we'll come back and we'll look at them. But you can see. So the first one was the jewel drops. The second one were the crystal drops. And the third one was the dream drops. So, okay, so we'll let this dry and we'll come back and look at it. So the 3 samples that I did, or the 6 samples that I did. So, and the paper collection that I'm using is a Paige Evans Garden Shop. So I tried to pick a collection that had a lot of paper, a 24 paper collection, so that we had a lot of options to play around with. So what I did on this one is I used the dream drops, so the iridescent dream drops, and I kind of just filled in around a journaling box, and I highlighted the word great. So that was it. I made a card. I just highlighted the embellishment, and that was the end of it there. The next sample that I have for you is a scrapbook layout. And what I did on this one is I actually highlighted the outline of the buttons, and I used 4 different crystal drops. I used 4 different colors of crystal drops. No, 5 different colors of crystal drops. And if I was really in a tedious mood, which I was not, I would have taken black and done the centers of the buttons, but I wasn't feeling that adventurous when I did this layout. So did that, and then I took the photo mats and made coordinating enamel dots. So these are with the crystal drops, so you can see they're translucent. So that's your second example. The next card I used Dream Drops on. And what I did, and you can see the iridescent on here, is I used the Dream Drops in the center of the flowers. So as the center of the flowers is a dream drop. And I think the iridescent part really shows in this one. So there's another example of beefing up an embellishment. And now we have another scrapbook layout, and this one I used crystal drops again, and I just went around the embellishment. So I went around the butterflies with little drops, crystal drops. Which added some dimension to the product and made the embellishment stand out. Okay, and the next one, I did a combination of Nuvo drops and some coloring, some markers. So what I did, oh, I don't have the paper. Oh, here it is. So the paper on this one started out like this. Okay, so it started out black and white. And when I'm finished, it looks like this. And what I did was I took jewel drops, so the opaque ones, and I colored in the centers of the flowers. Okay, and I had 2 different colors. And then I took a coordinating tri-blend and colored around the outskirts. And I guess I could have used the jewel drops as well, but I wanted to give it a little bit more color, so I used the marker. But then I took the green jewel drops and I just did a line for the leaves. So the leaves are jewel drops, and you can see they're solid, they're opaque, but I think they look really cool. So that's your 5th example. And then the last example I have for you is with Dream Drops. And on this one, I took another paper and I just embellished the patterned paper. And let me see if I can grab that paper. So it looked like this. And I took and I cut out, you can see I cut out with a punch, I just cut out an octagon. And I embellished, or I went around the edges of the paper, the colored. I went around the darker section with the dream drops to highlight it. And that was it. So those are my 6 examples of things that you can do with the 3 Nuvo drops. And then the next Technique Tuesday will focus on glitter drops, stone drops, and vintage drops. And I will get into a little bit more writing and stencils. And I'll see what else I can come up with to use them. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out directly to me. Other than that, make it a great day.